Hey, sisters, and welcome back to the second episode of the New Media Collective podcast. My name is Julia, and I'm your co-host.
My name's Savannah, and I'm your other co-host.
Oh my gosh. Nice to see you again,
It's
Savannah.
nice to see you too.
It's wonderful. It's great
That's
to have you
great.
back.
Yes,
and
great
you
to be
know,
here.
for the people listening at home,
Yes.
we might have a special guest later
Yeah.
coming out of the closet, so to speak.
Ooh.
Ooh. Wink, wink,
Woo.
wink. So you better stick around and listen because we have an interesting topic to discuss today. It's a little bit late, but that's okay. It's never too late.
We got films for y'all today.
We do, and we're discussing the season of love. Savannah, do you want to tell us what we're talking about today?
I would love to. So today, for episode 2, we are covering the films for the romantic and the anti-romantic.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get behind that.
All right.
Yeah, so for our late Valentine's Day special, we thought we would give it a little something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're not feeling like really
Lovey-dovey,
Right.
you know.
And that's okay, people. We would never judge.
Because we got something for y'all, too.
We do. And speaking of which, you brought a movie to the table. Speaking of the lovey-dovey, I think we have a great movie to start with.
I feel like it's not like this traditional rom-com.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And like I felt a little nervous because I was like, oh, wait a second. Because we did make some cuts to this episode. To be completely transparent with y'all, we had to do some little cutsies.
It's sad.
But like, yeah. I'm a little nervous that this doesn't fit the whole...
But it does. I think that the people will be really excited because I didn't know what this movie was before Savannah told me.
A lot of people don't.
Do you want to tell us and introduce the
my
audience?
Gosh.
What movie
I
are we...
would love to. So
Yeah.
first we are discussing Chances Are from 1989, starring Robert Downey Jr. and
Sybil.
where's her last name? I have it in here. Sybil Shepherd.
Right.
And Ryan O'Neal.
She's a total hottie, by the way. He's a total hottie, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
It's just a hot cast, y'all.
It's a hot cast. And what more could you ask for a Vday themed anything?
Exactly.
A hot cast. That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No plot.
No plot.
Just hot.
No, but this does have a plot.
It has a crazy freaking plot,
crazy,
y'all.
crazy plot.
It's a little roller coaster.
Do you want to run the people through what the plot's about?
Ooh, okay. Let me see if I can do this. So, not only is it a little rom-com, but it's also, according to the internet, and also, you know, to us because we watched it, fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
She's fantastical. Kind of.
she's like contemporary fantasy.
That's a good way to describe it. I think.
Yeah. All right. So basically, to break it down for the people out there, we have this newlywed couple, Corinne and Louis. They are super in love, and then they have this best friend named Philip, who is super in love with Corinne.
Yeah.
But like, Corinne don't know that.
She's a little like ditzy.
Yeah.
That's okay. We love her.
Yeah. And like at their wedding, at Louis and Corinne's wedding, Philip is all like, I need to tell you something. And then Louis is like, right now? He's like, I'm in love with Corinne. And he's like, I know. And then the wedding happens. And then a year later goes by. It's their 1-year anniversary. And Louis is struck by a car. And he dies right in front of the restaurant that him and Corinne were supposed to go to for their 1-year anniversary.
Right.
This girl witnesses the whole thing.
It's a goofy scene. It's truly like
he goes
really
flying.
silly.
Like
It's really strange.
it's not like gruesome in any way, but he does get hit
It's
by
goofy.
a little car.
He does, and he just kind of like lays there splat on the ground.
No
blood.
No blood.
It's so like unrealistic, but the whole movie is so strange. It's just kind of like the vibe.
Yeah.
So it's like a kooky.
a little kooky.
She's kooky.
A little kooky crazy.
It's a little kooky crazy.
Mm-hmm. So basically, Louis dies, and then he goes up to heaven, and it's like this whole like reincarnation process, and everyone's in line to be reincarnated. And he's like, y'all, I need to get back. Oh, and I forgot to mention, on the day of their anniversary, Corinne says that she's pregnant with their baby.
Oh my god.
And
God.
Louis all like, oh my god, I gotta get back, y'all. Like, my wife, she's pregnant, we're having a baby. And like, I don't think he totally understands the fact that he's dead and about to be reincarnated. and
he doesn't get his shots. He's not vaxxed.
Yeah, he is unvaxxed, which is a big plot for the movie because basically in their little heaven, they give you like a little shot so you don't remember your previous life. But Louis is just so like crazy, like I need to get back to my wife. Whereas Corinne, that he like sprints off into the light. And he's like, I don't know why, but like he's like stripping and like running.
Yeah, he's naked.
He's running
naked.
in his tiny whities.
It's really good.
And
yeah.
then our movie goes to, I don't want to give the people too much, but I feel like...
Just enough.
Yeah, I think there's just a little more I can provide.
We did mention Mr. RDJ is in this.
Yeah.
So he
reincarnates in the...
RDJ.
Yes. And he goes to the same school as the daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like graduating and he's all like,
ooh,
let me like
have all that.
Yeah, he's like, ooh, I can like, ooh, you're overdue on your library books? Well, let me just type. They're gone.
Right.
They're gone. And then he like goes to their house and stuff because he meets Philip, the best friend, and then they sit down for dinner. And as we mentioned, RDJ is the reincarnated Louis. And when he gets back into the home that was his, things start to go a little cray-cray.
It's actually, like, such a tough watch. It's so funny, though. It's really good. It's just like, oh, my God. It's so embarrassing to see.
Yeah. It's, like, it's one of those movies that I had to cover my eyes, but I do love it.
It's just, like, really, like,
it's really
secondhand embarrassment.
It's really, like, corny, you know?
It's corny, but it's really funny, but...
It's very calm.
Spoiler warning from this point on, honestly, for the entire pod, because
now
we're probably gonna,
we say our opinions.
We have to. Well, okay, so this movie is a favorite of Savannah's. I need everyone to know this. When we were deciding what movies to watch, she was mentioning this movie. I've never heard of it before, but she loves it. So I'm going to speak about this.
Yes.
As, like, nicely as I can. Okay, I liked it. I did. I really liked it. It's just, like, it's so weird. There was a few points where I was like, oh, my God. I'm looking over, like, my notes for the film, and as it progresses, it's just, like, gets more and more chaotic, like, all caps,
There's
typing.
So much chaos in this film.
There is. But I love the absurdity of this film. Like, I think that is what made it so interesting. It wasn't just, like, you know, okay, and I know what the people are going to say. They're going to see, oh, a Valentine's Day episode. Where's the Notebook?
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, but the thing is, like...
We wanted to bring something different to the table.
We want to bring something new to the table. And chances are...
I feel like not a lot of people know that movie.
Right. It kind of is covering... We've decided this one would be, like, the more stereotypical rom-com pick. Mm-hmm. It's just so good.
Yeah.
But I love the absurdity of it.
Yes.
But some of the quotes from this film were absolutely insane.
Oh, yeah. And
like, just so unhinged.
And Julia, you got, like, some good ones. You were reading them to me a little bit earlier.
So I do have some really good quotes from this film.
Yes.
So basically, RDJ's character kisses Miranda underneath a picture of himself. And so post this happening, he starts to realize that, like, oh my God, like, this is my daughter, Corinne was my wife, let me get with her. Which, by the way, is the most real part of this film. Like, I also, per my Letterboxd review, which is exactly what I said in my review of this film, I too would enter a controversial age gap relationship with Sybil. Like, she's, oh my gosh, guys.
I think I found your Letterboxd.
No way!
Because I was looking up, because I made a Letterboxd specifically for this club, and I remember reading that.
Anyways, okay, but yes, so he starts to realize, okay, this is my daughter, and so she starts making moves on him because they've kissed, and gosh, there's this scene where they're, like, in bed together, and he's like, God, you sure have grown up nicely. And she's, like, in her nightgown, and it's like, what is this? Oh, God.
Because, like, she, like, sneaks in. Is this where, like, she, like, hops into his bed?
Yeah, she hops in his bed, bro. It's a hard watch. Literally, I wrote, this is a hard watch, over and over and over. I do think it's also really funny that in this film, RDJ's character wants to start having babies with Corinne's character right away. So there's just, like...
Because he's like, I'm back.
Yeah, we gotta get
Louis,
going.
and I'm back.
It's like a really bizarre plot point. Like, that is a plot point that he just
Yeah.
wants to go to Pound Town with her.
Yeah.
It's like actually crazy. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's like really strange. But
I love it, honestly.
There's another scene where here's my other like 2 honorable quotes. There is a scene where Miranda's walking with Philip, who is Louis' best friend,
who's in love with Corinne. Who's basically raised Miranda.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Miranda's walking with him, and she's like, basically just attack mom and get it over with, like, once and for all. And it's like, whoa, that's your mother.
Yeah.
That's your mother.
That's crazy. Miranda's, like, way too freaking chill.
Right.
About
She's
that.
way too chill and way too eager, which brings us to my last mentionable quote.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. Okay, so guys. Okay, so Philip and what's her name?
Corinne.
They end up getting together, which is a crazy turn of events. So they get together, and Miranda walks in and on them, like, post having,
Yeah, like, it's the morning, and, like...
Right. And she's, like, so excited. Like, Philip is in the bed naked. Her mom is, like, in her nightgown, whatever. And she jumps in the bed with Philip, and she, like, leans over so she can whisper in her ear, and she's like... God, what does she say? She's like, I need to hear all the details later. Like, tell me everything. And it's like, whoa! Yeah, that's your mother!
That's your mother and the man that raised you. Right. Like, girl.
She's a freak, but...
She's crazy. She is it's like, she's not the main character.
Right.
Like, I feel like...
She's kind of, ugh.
They may have wanted her to be the main character.
Right.
But, like, she's just so weird.
She's weird.
She's just weird.
She's weird and also, like, kind of boring.
Yeah,
They didn't really try to make the female characters have any sort of personality, which is, like, lol.
Yeah.
Like, Corinne, too, is kind of one-dimensional. But, all that being said, I recommend this film.
Period.
It was good. What do you rate it?
Honestly, I do rate it out of 5 stars. Because it just, like, it hits... I feel it in my heart, honestly.
Yeah, you have to.
So there's, like, a part in it where I just thought it was so funny. And I didn't write it down. I wrote a lot of notes, but I did not write this part down. But I just thought it was so funny. Like, when he's at the dinner table, and he's, like, realizing things, and, like, he has, like, his little flashback to, like, Corinne being his wife, and he, like, puts his hands over his face, like, slaps them on, and then he goes, peekaboo, peekaboo.
He's fighting for his life the entire movie.
Like,
and he tries to, like, cover up the fact that he's, like, acting insane because he's getting these, like, flashbacks, and he just does the weirdest stuff. Oh, when he's in our office, and he's like, I have to tell you something, because he wants to tell Corinne that, like, he's in love with her because he's,
that's her husband.
Yeah, and she's like, what? Like, what is it? And he's like, climate change, like, the trees are burning, and she's like, period. Yes.
Like, okay, sir.
Yeah, it's funny. Honestly, it was good, and but, okay, the ending, though.
Oh, wait, why am I blank? I like
You like that he ends up getting with Miranda?
Like, okay, like, it is, like, weird, but, like, I've heard that, like, in, like, the theories with, like, past lives and reincarnation, that you do typically stick with the same souls.
Yeah.
So I guess, like...
He should have got with Philip. Like, where's that rat?
I'm really happy, though, that Corinne and Philip, they do get together.
Me too.
And I think it's so cutesy, and I'm just like...
No, I definitely agree. I definitely agree.
And I really like the use of the song After All, because, like, it's just, like, it's really, like, laced in it. A lot of it is, like, piano, like, on the 1-year anniversary of Louis and Corinne, like, he's, like, playing it on the piano.
Yeah, it's cute. It's really cute.
Then, like, once he, like, gets his memory back as Alex, but, like, he is Louis, but he is Alex. Once he gets his memory back and he's wearing, like, Louis' old tux, and he starts playing it, and he's, like, looking at Corinne, like,
Hey.
Like, you know what this is.
God, he was really good looking. It was kind of bad.
Honestly, he was, like, yeah.
Right.
But, then at the end, when they play it, like, I don't know.
I know, it was cute.
I feel like
it was sweet.
I feel like a good ballad really, like, elevates a film, and I think, like, when you have a good soundtrack, that can make, like, all the difference. Because, you know, like, the film, it is, like, a little bit, like, on the weirder side, like, with the fact that it's like, oh, this is your husband, but, like, he's also, like, reincarnated dating your daughter, and now he's, like, trying to, like, get back with you and, like, have your kids type of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like...
He's got all the ladies.
He does.
And the men, because Philip is also, like, crazy for him.
Yeah.
Before he knows.
Also, like, the fact that, like, Philip is, like, when Alex, with his memory, comes to his office, he's like, oh, that's Miranda's right molar.
Yeah.
That was just so random.
It's really strange.
He's not a dentist.
I know. Philip, but he means so well. But
he's very, like, dad.
He is very dad. Louis could never. I didn't really care for, like, Louis as a character.
Oh, I agree. And I have some comments about him because I just think, you know, like, he, like, remembers who he is and he does, like, read Corinne's diary. It's like, when she's away. And, like, you know, we hear, like, oh...
He eats the... Wait, that's never addressed either. Mm-hmm. He eats the Yorkman patty, and that's never addressed. Which, okay, so for the viewers at home, there's, like, a scene where she's, like... Corinne is, like, basically still low-key delusional, and she... Before she finds out that, like, Louis been reincarnated, every night she like, gives something to her little shrine of Louis.
Like, she's trying to feed him.
Yeah, so she fed him, like, a Yorkman patty and left it out, and then halfway through the film, RDJ's character... is in her bed reading her diary and takes a bite out of the patty, and it's literally never addressed. Because I was like, oh no, like, she's definitely gonna find out now that he's been trifling through her things because she's been, like, kind of suspicious of him. But it's never addressed.
Yeah.
He eats the thing, and it's just...
Yeah. And I just think it is really messed up, though, that, you know, he reads her diary, sees that his wife has been struggling so hard, and he still goes and he tries to pursue her.
He's
and,
gross.
like, I know, and it's, like... It's really messed up, but I guess in a way it did need to happen because it gave her closure. Like, there's that scene, like, where she's, like, rushing off to her little, like, fair date with him, and she takes the picture of Louis and, like, throws it out the window in her car.
I agree. I think, personally...
Him coming back gives her closure. And can finally start a relationship with the man who, like, is so in love with her and raised, like,
her child. I agree. I think that I just don't like... Louis.
I don't either.
And that's why, like, that's what I was trying to say, like, when he was like, oh, so quick to just, like, try and have kids with her again was very strange. And she was like, oh, I don't really want more kids. And he was like, well, it's not too late, is it? Like, let's get going tonight. Like, quite literally, like, that's, like, what he says.
That was wild.
It's really weird.
And, like, I don't want us to go, like, super over time, but, like, we have to mention the fact that Louis was, like, a lawyer, and, like, the day that he died, he got, like, evidence for this big case.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just feel like they threw that in.
Yeah. And it's, like, so Miranda is in school to be a lawyer, too, just like her old pops, and,
doing the case that he was, like, involved in.
Yeah. And then, like, he sees him, and he's like, I know what you did. And, like, he has the evidence. He's like, Corinne, the camera from the day I died. And basically, like, 20 years later, like, they get this dude arrested for the judge because he was doing all this messed up stuff.
What was he doing? I don't even remember.
I think he was, like, taking a bribe to rule in a certain way to let someone go free.
Classic.
Yeah. And then he, like, flips out and he's, like, running out the door trying to get away from... like, security, and then he, like, knocks his head, and then he's in the hospital, gets the shot that he was supposed to get, and then he doesn't remember anything.
And that's the end. But it's a circular ending, because then Philip gets married to Corinne in the end, and at the altar, as Corinne's coming down the aisle...
Just like in the beginning.
Yeah.
Alex,
RDJ's character, turns to Philip and is like, I have to tell you something, and Philip's like, not now. And he's like, no, like, I'm in love with Miranda. And Philip's like, I know.
I thought that was kind of cute. I thought it was cute.
It's cute, but I will say that even though RDJ no longer remembers his, like, place in the family, Corinne and Philip remember. They know that Louis is with his daughter, essentially. So it's a little bit strange.
Yeah. And, like...
a bit strange.
I know, like, us as viewers agree that Louis was not the best guy,
Yeah,
you know?
he's not at all.
And I feel like, I'm not Louis, Philip, Corinne, and even Miranda just idolize him so much.
Right. They do. Because he's like, RDJ's character is like, oh, like, what's something, like, that you wish you had that you never had? And she's like, my dad. And over, she's like, oh, I got this from my dad and this from my dad.
Dancing. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
overall, I liked it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun watch. It was interesting. I liked it a lot.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah.
I was nervous that you'd hate it.
No, it was good. It was funny. It was weird. I think that, like...
I like weird, though. I like weird.
Yeah, I think also for the people that maybe are, like, hesitant because it's like, oh, I don't like basic rom-coms, whatever. I think this one is, like, interesting. It's different.
It's not basic.
And
it's
like,
not typical.
It would be fun to watch with friends, I think.
Oh, yeah.
It definitely would be.
Like, what I like about this movie is that it doesn't really follow, like, the typical rom-com path. Because I feel like with so many movies, and even books, because I be trying to read, y'all, and I can't really read rom-coms anymore because they all follow the same, like, cookie-cutter type of thing.
Right.
This one doesn't.
It doesn't. It's weird.
And it's like...
And it also doesn't because it doesn't really... I don't know.
It doesn't really make sense.
It doesn't make sense. The plot's kind of whatever. You can't watch it and expect, like, an artful masterpiece. That's not what it is.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's
no.
really good.
And I would just like to mention that After All, which was the song for the movie, was nominated Best Original Song for the Academy Awards in 1989. And I just gotta say, I feel like this song did a lot for the plot.
I agree.
I know I previously mentioned it, but I just wanted to add this. I feel like a movie soundtrack should be more than just background noise.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it should contribute and add more meaning to the scene. And I feel like that's exactly what this song did. And
Yeah.
I really like and appreciate that about this movie.
I really agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it does, like, you know, it makes me all tee.
Yeah, and even though we did low-key spoil, you have to watch still. I think it's, like,
Oh,
very
yeah.
much so worth it.
I feel like the
By
people
far.
are, like, gonna listen to this and be like,
We have to watch
what
it.
is that?
You have to watch it. You have to watch
Yeah.
to find out. You got to get the context clues.
I feel like the people are gonna hate it, like, based off of our description, but y'all just have to watch it. Y'all
You
gotta
do.
be there.
You do. And I would rate this film 3 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
You rate it 5 out of 5?
Yeah, just
Okay,
because,
no.
you know, it's my pick, and it's
I
like,
agree.
it's to the heart, close to the heart.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we have another movie on the table.
Yes, we
and we
do,
actually,
y'all.
on that note, we have a special guest today.
Yeah.
Give it up for our special guest, a member and best friend of mine, Megan Salagi.
Woo!
Hey guys.
Megan, what did you bring to the table for us today?
So my movie pick was But I'm a Cheerleader.
Okay.
So I felt like it was between that and 10 Things I Hate About You, but we came to the consensus that But I'm a Cheerleader held a lot more meaning, and it was a more fun choice for me.
So, do you want to tell us about this
Okay,
movie? What's the plot? Like, what's she about? What does she bring to the table?
So, But I'm a Cheerleader is basically about this girl named Megan, funny enough.
Okay.
Ooh.
And she's a cheerleader, and basically she's kind of supposed to fit the mold of being like, you know, her parents want her to be this straight, religious, cutesy little cheerleader girl, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that is not Megan, the character. That's not who she is. She feels like she doesn't fit that mold, so she's like, she's kind of, but she's slowly coming to terms with it. So she has a boyfriend in the beginning of the movie, and she kind of notices that she doesn't really love him like she's supposed to. So because of that, her parents get a little bit scared, and she gets sent off to a conversion camp, basically. And then she meets this other girl named Graham, who's like more rebellious, like baddie kind of college student, older type girl. Cool girl, yeah, she's a cool girl. And yeah, they basically kind of there's a lot that goes on, but those two are basically the main love interests of the movie. And they kind of go through like the ups and downs of being at the conversion camp with their camp counselor, who's actually RuPaul, but in this movie he is a straight man. But yeah, they kind of just have little adventures and eventually find love.
Yeah,
So,
it's a wild ride. I love this film, and I think we watched it for the first time together. Actually,
We
Megan.
did
Like a
last
year ago.
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Friendship.
Ooh. Yeah, honestly, that movie, I really like it. I think it's, if you haven't seen it, especially if you're part of the LGBTQ plus IA diaspora, you have to watch it. I don't know what you're doing.
I agree. I think
It's kooky and fun.
It is. It's really cute and fun, and like it's not like heavy in my opinion. I think
Yeah.
it's more
It's
of,
an
like,
easy watch.
Yeah, it's like a very easy watch. It's just very fun. It's got like that color scheme of pink. It's very like bright and like
I like the costume
positive
design.
vibe. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I like
yeah.
that they follow like an aesthetic. It's like really pleasing to the eye.
It
Yes,
is.
yes.
It's just, it's so absurd too. I think that's like the theme.
This
Absurdist like films. It's
Like-
so good.
Like we can call this episode anti-romantic and the romantic but absurd.
And the yeah.
Yeah,
Agree.
I agree. But yeah, it's really good. I like how they did that little dynamic between Megan and Graham because they're like opposite, but like
Yeah.
they love each other.
And
at
the
end.
actress for Graham is, she's in Girl Interrupted, and she's in Better Call Saul,
I didn't
which
know
is
that.
like,
Yeah, Natasha Lyonne, if I'm saying that correctly, she's also in Orange Is the New Black.
yes,
And so this was her first breakout role, I think.
which is amazing. And then on that note of also like other like sapphic shows, Sybil, who plays
Oh,
the
yes.
wife in
Chances
Are, is in L Word, which I
Mhm.
forgot until Megan reminded me,
Yup.
which is
yup.
crazy.
So it's kind of funny how all that works out, but no, yeah.
It's good.
I liked this movie a lot. I'm trying to think of
Any pointers, people?
specific moments.
I got points.
Okay,
I
I'm
got
here.
I got things to say.
Say your piece.
So, okay. When I was watching this, because I'm like fresh, because I just watched this morning.
Oh,
okay.
Hey, I wanted her fresh in my mind. Y'all know. But like, I'm watching it and I feel like she doesn't know she's gay.
No.
And
Yeah,
there is
that's true.
nothing specifically that I feel like really like points to her and be like, y'all, she's gay, you know? Like, you know, her kisses with her boyfriend are like super awkward, but I feel like, you know,
She is young.
She's
young.
young. She's young. And like, one of the things that they said is like, oh, you have like pictures of girls in bikinis in your locker, but like she's a student athlete. Maybe that's like her gym inspo.
Right.
So her family and her friends, real weird. Real weird.
I think it's cool though, like on that note that they show, like, I think it's clear obviously when you watch, like, you know, she's supposed to be gay, whatever, but she's not like super stereotypical. She's just like a very femme girl.
And she like
Which-
doesn't know.
where's
I like
Leader,
I
fear,
like
rep.
that like representation. You know, it's like not like
They show more than just like
Yeah.
the stereotype.
Yeah, we need the
Yeah.
femme rep. I said fear, but I meant to say femme. Sorry.
No,
Our
yeah.
femme rep.
Like she's just a girly little cheerleader.
Yeah.
She's just a cheerleader.
exactly, y'all.
Plus,
I
like,
like
even
that.
the title is so
Mhm.
good.
But I'm a
Memorable.
cheerleader. Like that's so cute.
I agree. No, it's a good watch.
The name of like the conversion like program, it was called True Directions, and when they said that, I just thought of the first episode of Glee when
my
Mr. Schuster is like trying to think
God.
of a name and he wakes up dead in the middle of the night. New Directions.
Oh,
Like I
my
had that
gosh.
full visual.
That's really
The
funny.
session.
That's what. Please.
The Glee
It's we're gonna have to mention Glee on every episode. I think.
I think I'm gonna make that a challenge.
You have to. Okay.
Yeah.
Hard
All
note.
episodes that I'm a part of.
We have to mention Glee,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mr. Shoe.
I feel like he would
Scary.
like, but I'm a cheerleader.
Oh, he would.
Oh yeah.
Okay, see,
Yeah.
Glee, I feel like if But I'm a Cheerleader existed in Glee universe, they would eat that up.
They would eat it up.
Totally would.
They would try to make a jukebox musical
They would.
for it.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Brittany
Mhm.
specifically would fit real well into this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hey.
hmm
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up some symbolism that I caught
Ooh.
that I thought, you know, real cool, real interesting.
Okay.
So in like her first night, Megan's first night at the place, the director lady, she's like watering flowers in her front yard, and her son comes out. Her son, very, very gay, and like
I think his name is Rock.
Rock,
or something.
Yeah, Rock. What a name! But like, he walks out in his little booty shorts, drinking his little drink with the swirly straw, and his mom just like, comes after him like, nah, 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 nah. And he's like, whatever, like, you suck. And then he goes back in the house, and she's watering these like little flowers, but then she pulls it out of the ground. Turns out it's a fake flower, and she like throws it. And I think that kind of represents the fact that people are not like, they don't just become gay, you're born that way. And they're doing like this whole like conversion thing to try and like take the gay away or whatever, but like in the end that's never gonna work, because that's just how you're born. Same thing, trying to water a fake flower, it's not gonna grow.
That's a very smart take.
Very,
Okay, Savannah for the win.
I think that was about what I had. I would give it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Personally.
I also agree, 4 to 5.
And it's decided 4 out of 5.
Okay, 4 out of 5.
4 out
Let's
of
go.
5. That's pretty good.
Okay, and so we have one last film that we want to make sure we discuss today quickly in our last remaining time slot, and it's actually the movie that I brought to the table.
Woo!
Woo! Oh yeah.
Yeah, let's do a little clap.
Let's go. Okay, we can clap to that. Woo!
Woo!
That's great. So, the movie I decided to bring to the table is for all my anti-romantic people out there listening.
We see y'all too. We see y'all
too. I resonate. I'm here with you. God, I'm here with you. So Gone Girl was what I wanted to bring to the table, and it's released in 2014. Essentially, I mean, come on, you guys gotta know what Gone Girl is. But if you
or
don't,
at least heard of it.
Yeah, it's like classic. I think a good reason why I decided to like pick it is the quote from the movie has been trending on TikTok, where she's like, for Valentine's Day, I decided I'd buy a gun, and then it's like it goes into a grime song. Ugh, slay. But which is perfect. But I feel like that does sum up already like the vibe of the film. But essentially the movie's about a woman who frames her husband for her disappearance and her murder. Ooh, maybe. But Amy and Nick are in a seemingly perfect marriage from the outside, but internally that's far from the truth, and all of the normalized wrongdoings reach a bubbling point and culminate with Amy staging her murder and running away. And she stages it so that it seems as though Nick, played by Ben Affleck, is the one who committed the murder, and Amy is played by the beautiful Rosamund Pike. Rosamund Pike. Yeah. And shenanigans do ensue. I almost don't want to fully spoil this one. Is that crazy?
Maybe. But I think you're valid.
I just think it's so worth watching. But it's so interesting. Basically, how it unfolds is she's just a clever, cunning, very smart, so out of his league. I mean, not glamorizing the very wrong things she does, but
she's a
pulls off the perfect
Harvard
murder.
graduate?
Yeah. And he's so mundane, which I think is an important talking piece of the film.
He's very
that,
average.
He's so average, and all these things that he does that's really bad in their relationship, it's just but it's just whatever, it's just the average thing that the average man does. But no, it's not good. These normalized wrongdoings are bad. But she kind of she leaves clues around for the police in order for them to lead them in the direction of Nick. It's mostly through diary entries and such, which also pose as flashbacks. And yeah, it unfolds. Shenanigans really do ensue, and it also kind of is a way for Nick to he's also hot on her tail, trying to figure out what's happening. So it's really interesting. And
to mention this, as this whole case is going on, it's very, like, publicized, and, like, the public perception of Nick, like, everyone is hating this man, and, like, just, like, coming after him. Like, people are, like, outside his house, people are coming to his sister's house, just all that. And it's influencing how the police are handling it as well.
I think it's like Rosamund Pike's character. I'm sorry if I'm saying that so wrong, people. I'm not a name expert. I'm so sorry. But I think it's really interesting how she's able to very cunningly and cleverly use and manipulate all, like, facets of stereotypical womanhood. Like, being, like, the victim versus, like, the, like, for lack of a better word, like, the bitch, the bitch wife, and just all that stuff,
and like,
her advantage to try and, like, get people to, because she's fed up.
Yeah, and she's so intelligent, because she even thinks of, how are the people going to see me?
Yeah.
What are the people going to think of me?
She's kind of...
Oh, wait, I don't think we even really said why she does all this.
Oh, yeah.
Because little Nick
Mm-hmm.
cheated on her.
Mm-hmm.
With a college student, because he's a professor.
And it's played by Natalie Radikowski, right? Yeah, she's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And, which, and that's why it's very interesting, because cheating obviously is so normal and so normalized, but, like, it's bad. It's a wrong thing to do. But, of course, Nick doesn't understand, and it's like, what? This is all being so blown out of proportion, and, like, all this is happening, but I don't understand why. But it's like, no, like, just because it's been normalized, it doesn't mean it's good. Like, this behavior and thought processes and treatment towards women is bad. I also really resonate with, like, how the movie handles and brings up the topic of, like, being a quote-unquote cool girl, where she has, like, a whole monologue where she was like, I tried to be the cool girl for him. Like, I ate cold pizza and watched Adam Sandler films and, like, was okay with him, like, whatever, and I drank beer and tried to whatever. Yeah, I think that, like, the way that it brings up, like, the concept of, like, being, like, a quote-unquote cool girl, and how that actually is, like, really counterproductive and not feministic or equalistic in any way, but it's almost like the exact opposite. It's really interesting, and I agree, and I honestly take that approach a lot to, in, like, the way I frame, like, I don't know, like, I'm not gonna try and be a cool girl and be okay with, like, my partners doing certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
I think, like, there's no point. It's not gonna lead to anything better. And also, I would like to say another piece, that I think that the casting of Ben Affleck being Nick is fitting, because he's, like, I don't know, he gives me bad vibes. Like, I think he would hit women, but he's, like, conventionally attractive and stuff, but I feel like he's, like, low-key, like, a bad guy. I feel like he was a good
fit for the role.
I think so, too. And I feel like it's almost, like, a little bit, like, I don't know if he understands that it seems like a targeted casting choice, but slay.
Yeah, that was honestly, like, the craziest 2 hours and 29 minutes of my life. Because, just like chances are, it does not really follow the typical cookie-cutter plotline for a movie. Right. And I really liked that. Yeah. I hated when movies will follow, like, something so predictable. It gets boring. I really like what they did here.
I agree. It was really good. I feel like the people really need to watch this one. Like, if you haven't seen it, you really need to watch it. I honestly would also give it a 4. I think that people should watch it. It's interesting. I feel like you can also look at it and dissect it from different viewpoints and ways, and I wish that we had the time to delve into that. But for next Valentine's Day, you people now have a 3 movie marathon to get through. So, like, there we go. You're welcome. And I think that actually on that note, that it brings us to the conclusion of our second episode.
Yeah.
Which is really exciting and rather crazy. Woo!
Woo!
Yeah.
That's great.
So, Savannah, do you want to tell the people what is in store for not next week's topic, but the week after?
I would be honored to tell the people what is in store. So basically, Julia, not me, I'm not on this not on the next app. So if you miss me, you're just gonna have to wait. I know I'm like I have like a great voice, and people just love to listen.
We
to
always
me.
love you. We love having you every time. We as
too.
in me and all the people, our army of fans, the army, the BTS army.
Oh my gosh! Hey, Army.
Hey.
But yeah, I won't be on this episode, but we have some lovely guest stars from our club, the New Media Collective at USF, Hadassah, and
Chili.
yes,
Yeah, and
our topic. Well,
Yeah.
not. I mean, I
the
guess.
topic.
The topic is an ode to the manic pixie dream girl, and y'all should listen because
You have to.
they were planning it today during our meeting, and it sounds like it's gonna be fire.
It'll be fire because I'm gonna whip out my pretentious train of thought. So I'm really excited about it, and that should be coming out on the 14th.
Yes,
Next month.
March 14th.
March 14th. So, yeah, we're sticking back to our every other week schedule. This is kind of like a special that we did to have this.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is uploaded a week after. You never know these days. The world is crazy. But, yeah, and we do also meet every Monday, 5:30 p.m., and our Instagram is New Media Collective _USF. So please make sure to follow us. You'll be able to see weekly show and movie recs, updates about events and meetings and podcast stuff. So if you go to USF and you want to join our club, please feel free to reach out and join us. You can find us on Bulls Connect as well.
We're really cool.
We're so cool.
If you couldn't tell from the however many minutes we've been on, we're very
phenomenal. And oh my gosh, I think that this does round out our episode, but we have a special performance. So this week's ending obscure movie quote is going to be done by our lovely co-host Savannah.
Hey.
So make sure you guys guess what film this is from on our Instagram for a shout out. And the floor is yours.
Clearly it's not just a game. If it was, then obviously I wouldn't care about it this much. 23 years. Do you still care about anything you cared about 23 years ago? How about 10? How about 5? Name me a single thing that you cared about for 23 years.
Oh. That was wonderful.
That's great.
Okay. You can tell we're theater kids.
Yeah.
That was great. Wonderful performance from our co-host Savannah. And I think with that, it's a wrap. So
it's a wrap, y'all.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to follow our Instagram. Guess what film you think that quote is from.
Yes, it is a rom-com.
Right.
I will give you that.
Thank you. And we'll see you guys next time.